Good morning, everyone. I actually didn't make a video yesterday. We didn't do much. We came here to Calgary. We came back from Banff to Calgary to the Fairmont Palliser where we started the trip, and just kind of hung out. And let's see, we went to dinner. Went and walked around a little bit downtown here, but nothing to capture in video. So I just skipped the video yesterday. But today is going to be fun. I'm going with Andrew Kay, who is a commercial real estate broker or agent here in Calgary. So he's going to take me to 3 or 4 different properties. You know, the intent is not to purchase or lease something right now. The intent is to see what the area is like, and then I would come back. So I'm not going to fall in love with the place because it probably wouldn't be available when I'm ready to do it. But I think this would be a worthwhile exercise, and I'm going to bring you along today. And then we're going to head down to High River where they shoot Heartland and capture all that stuff. All right, so we left Central to sit downtown. Yeah. Now we're up by the airport.
Yeah, now we're up by the airport.
Gotcha. And so what were you saying about there's the east and west side of the city, of this main road?
Yeah, so for the most part on Deerfoot separates the city into halves. Yep. The northeast and southeast, unless you're deep southeast, are typically lower income areas.
So on this side, this side is, and then on the other side is
it's
fancier houses.
Yeah, better incomes.
Yeah.
There's almost no industrial on the west side of the city. Mm-hmm. Almost all of it is on the east side of the city.
So this unit is 12,000 square feet?
12,000 square feet. 2,500 of it is office. That's a pretty normal ratio. Most of them would be 10 to 15% office.
Yep.
Right?
And then this is, so for those people who don't understand, can you explain to them how leases work on properties like this?
Of course,
They give you a per square foot price, and that's annually, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And then you divide it by 12.
Yeah, it's per annum. So you've got two parts. These are triple net leases. Okay. So what that means is that all of the costs are passed on to the tenant. So you pay your basic rent, you pay your taxes, and you pay any sort of management fees and upkeep of the building. It's just like condo fees where you pay a proportionate share. So your basic rent is always, and everything is always per annum, per square foot. So you take say if you're 10,000 square feet, your rental rate is $10 a square foot, then that's $100,000 a year. You divide it by 12. That's your gross monthly rent plus GST. So plus your taxes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So here GST is 5%. So then you pay 1.05%.
And they paid property tax generally, the owner of the building.
Yeah, it's flow through. You pay it, but
it's included in your.
Yeah, it's part of your operating costs. So your operating costs is your property taxes and your management fee on the property.
Got it.
That's why they call it a triple net lease, because the landlord really, if he's got everything full, doesn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Whereas in residential, you've got, say, your gross rent of $1,500 a month, but so you've got your mortgage, and you pay your property taxes, and you just tell your tenant that they pay their own utilities.
So they pick a number to make it profitable for them, and they cover all their expenses. So this is $4.21 per square foot plus a management fee of roughly.
It'll be a percentage of the rent usually. Usually it's about 10%.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Plus then the sales tax, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to be somewhere around $5.50 or something, $6 a square foot.
Plus the basic rent,
Yeah, got it.
So basic rent here, I think, is high single digits, low double digits.
Oh, so explain that.
So you're probably going to be $9 a square foot or $12 a square foot plus your operating costs.
Gotcha.
And management fee. So it'll be 16 gross, probably roughly around there. Some of the new build stuff, depending on how much space you take. So if you take more space, the cost to the landlord is less per square foot because they don't have to demise it, they don't have to make it smaller, they don't have to put as much into it.
Okay.
So the larger the space you take, the lower the basic rent is per square foot.
Okay.
But obviously you're taking on more space, so your gross monthly costs are higher because you're square foot.
And then how long is that? So that's not denoted in there. You negotiate your terms, like 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, or they have that dictated generally?
Typically in our market right now, because of how tight it is, 5 years is the preference for landlords. They'll do up to 10. You can get 2 5-year renewals past that, where you have the option to renew, so that you don't have to worry about doing a totally new lease. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll do a shorter deal, but right now our market is so hot, 5 years is kind of the minimum that most landlords will look at.
And then what you and I talked about is if you deal with a landlord that owns a bunch of property and you need some more space, they'll oftentimes allow you to kind of transfer your terms over to a new building.
Yeah, that's the benefits of being, say, with a larger landlord like a REIT. Is you can say, hey, look, we're close to outgrowing our space. Is there another place in your portfolio that we could move to? And then what they'll usually do is they'll allow you to move within the portfolio. Because they don't want to lose you as a tenant, and you growing is a positive thing. They can't always accommodate it depending on how tight the market is. But
so 12,000 square feet, I'm going to be paying somewhere around $16 a square foot, something like that.
Yeah, I think gross, that's probably pretty realistic here. I'll tell you exactly what it is per month. Assuming that it's $16 even, so $17,088. That's with GST.
Right, and then multiply that by 0.73 or 0.73 for me.
Oh yeah, for US
so
dollars.
$12,000, say $12,000 US a square foot, something like that.
Yeah, about that. You're about $1.
Or a month.
Yeah, exactly. 12,000 a month. It's kind of interesting because your GST is a flow through too. So when your business claims its GST to the CRA, you can actually get some of that. It's flow through. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because you're collecting GST as well. So a good accountant will be able to walk you through that. But it's not like lost money. It's you do pay it up front though.
So this is what I would intend to build in Florida, a concrete. They basically bring these walls in.
Yeah, it's all precast and lean them up. My brother has a company and that's what they do here.
Yeah, and they just lean them up, right?
They just lean them up, and then you've got steel framing on the inside for the roofs and stuff.
What are these costing to build now per square foot generally? Because you have a big hollow inside.
They're like $90 to $100 a square foot plus land costs.
Yeah, right.
That, depending on concrete and if you're buying retail or if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, so I have a lot that I bought next to my main building, and at least two buildings next to each other, and I have a lot next to it.
Oh, okay.
And so the intent would be to build something like this, something cool, modern looking. This is what they did. This kind of so the new ones all have that fancy looking, where they put like the red, red door frames. Yeah.
Instead of just
the old gray.
The old gray concrete.
It looks like communist type,
It does.
Communist Russia.
Looks like communist Russia apartments. Yeah.
Easy. It's 32 feet.
We're 28 feet here.
Or 28, and you could go up all the way.
You can go. You'll have to anchor it. You have to get a racking engineer once you go past 16 feet.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And they'll help you do the racking so that it is anchored, so you don't you don't end up being one of those viral videos where the entire shelves come down. So there's a certain limit of how high you can go, but higher than you'll be able to see here and optimize it about stuff.
Oh wow! Gosh. 12,000. This is 12,000 square feet. This feels like a frickin' mansion of a warehouse.
Yeah.
What I could do with this.
It's sweet. You got infrared heating in here. That's what those are.
Is that what most places? How do they heat mostly?
Most of the places we're going to see are going to have radiant heating like this.
And are they most of them air conditioned, or do you even need that?
The office side is air conditioned. You really don't. It's in the warehouse side with the high ceilings.
Yeah.
And if you look, you're all concrete and your cinder.
Yeah.
That's 2-hour fire rated cinder next to you. So there's a lot of insulation for heat.
Yeah. So you're more concerned with heat. With Florida, we're more concerned with air conditioning. Man, what I could do with this.
Yeah, it's awesome. Looks like it's sprinklered too. You can see the pipe with the red everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all sprinklered. Realistically, in a space like this, you wouldn't need this portion. Like, you could probably still use it and not have to remove any of the walls.
Yeah. I mean, I could work with what was here.
And your dock load in the back. These are all the levelers. You got plenty of power. I don't know. You don't really need it, but there's power here.
I mean, the most power I'd need is for the darn forklift charging. That's about it.
Exactly. Because you don't want to do a propane, because then you have to make a bare unit in here and stuff. So especially
we do electric. Yeah, for sure.
You can see their transformers from the bottom.
See how the dock works.
So you got a really good marshalling area in the back gives you more than enough to get 53 footers in here.
Oh yeah.
In and out.
And then there's docks.
Loading.
Yep. So is there a single door?
There's one there. So they got two. So they got.
Yeah. So we would do an incoming and outgoing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of places here in Calgary, well, not lots, but some have cross docks where you've got a whole side of the building is all docks, and on the other side is all docks, and you have stuff coming in.
Yeah. So when there's a tenant in here like this, they're required to like get it all cleaned out. Like everything would be out of here. It'd be a blank slate, basically.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. You got a dumpster inside?
Yeah. They do.
Huh. I guess that would be not a terrible thing for us with cardboard, you know.
And you'll notice like the lighting in all the other bays that we'll look at, this tells you the age of the building. When we get it, they'll turn all these into LEDs. See them above, how they're all halogens?
Yeah.
These will all be swapped out. That's pretty typical landlord work when we do a lease here right now, just to make sure everything's LED.
So do you negotiate all that when you're signing your
Put it
lease?
in your offer to
Okay,
lease.
here's what I need.
This is the landlord work that we would like.
Yeah.
These are kind of our terms. These are the financial terms that we would like to see. Yep.
I'm so used to like, please let me do it. Please let me do it and just give me the building and I'll pay for everything. So
Yeah, no, we would make sure you're getting market.
Yeah.
And what's acceptable. Yeah.
that's why
Like,
that's
if we
why you need to
wanted-
work with someone like you, because then you can.
Yeah, we understand
Yeah.
what's normal expectations in the market.
Yeah.
You know where to push and where to pull. And
Yeah.
like most of the time, you can ask for a repaint of the office. Sometimes you can ask for new carpeting, depending on how old it is.
Yeah.
New ceiling tiles, new lighting. Yep.
12,000 square feet. This feels like 1,000,000 square feet to
That's
me.
9,000. The warehouse is 9,000.
Gosh, that feels huge. I mean, look at this. 28-foot ceiling. I could fit everything that I could ever imagine in this place.
The last one we're going to with the 32-foot ceilings is going to feel
Like a monster. Yeah. Gosh.
because the ceilings make it feel much larger.
Yeah.
Like if these ceilings were 18 feet, 20 feet, it wouldn't feel nearly as large.
True. Yeah. And then you have all this, which is they just put walls up for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think it's just to segregate their different sections of what they're doing.
Yeah. Yep.
You can see they got venting and stuff in here, so they might have been doing more paint.
Yeah.
Things of that matter.
This could be assembly. Wow. Yeah.
So
I kind of like a little bit of segregation, and you can kind of figure out. And I mean, ultimately, yeah, long term, you would design it, right? So I design it how I want, but
exactly. Like for distribution, they wanted it as open as possible so they can get as much racking in as they can.
Yeah.
With as much organization so that it's very efficient.
yeah. Because what I would want, so we'd have ABC packing, so we'd have our C products would be furthest away, A's would be closest, and then what I would probably implement is so you do bulk picking down to a packing line, if you will.
That makes sense.
So you bring all of your product, you go and pick it, bring it in, and then you do like the sort of milk crate system where it kind of slides in, and so then the packers would actually do the final pick.
That makes sense.
So you'd bulk pick, then final pick, and then pack, and then our new software we just implemented now. The packers actually generate the label,
Oh, okay.
and so we've eliminated a bunch of steps in our process.
And you just have the stuff that has the highest velocity of moving through your warehouse, you have that closest to your doors?
Closest and lowest, yeah.
That makes sense.
But the beauty of something like this here is you'd have everything low, and then you pull from the top, and so you'd have workers. Their whole job was just to bring stuff down.
Exactly.
So you do your when the shipment comes in, you put it up high, and then figure out how do you remove steps.
Totally.
That's what's super interesting to me, and I can't do that in my current facility because we don't have this kind of space.
And you could.
So you can see this is just for scale. Everybody's seen my little baby warehouse. Like I could fit our warehouse like into where these pallets are right here.
That's crazy.
And at like wherever these lines are, that's it. 12 feet. So it goes up twice as high and is this is more than all three of my buildings combined.
The benefit is because it's so far from you, you can grow within it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do racking all the way to the ceiling to start. You could do racking halfway up.
Oh yeah, right.
And then as you require.
Shoot, in the beginning you just put it on the darn floor.
With this much space, you can.
Yeah.
So this is in the county. So the property taxes are lower, which means your operating costs are lower here. And that's why they're all out here. is to get out of the city.
Yeah, okay.
They're still close enough that they can ship and do everything else that they
Get
need.
employees and stuff.
Yeah, but their overhead costs are just, it just makes just enough of a difference when you've got like 1 million square feet.
It's so weird that I'm gonna have this place and like I'm never gonna be here. Like it's not.
It'll be set and forget.
I'm gonna have very little to do with it at all.
Just making sure that you have the right management and the right staff in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not much to it, huh?
No.
It's a steel frame and they just lean the concrete up next to it.
The crane comes in, comes off the trucks.
You can save a slab, put a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of electrical in it.
Yep. HVAC. Then it's done. My brother's company did, it was like a 200,000 square foot warehouse in 3 weeks.
All right, you learn how to develop, and let's build one where I live in Florida.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. So this is 9,000 square feet.
The office portion is 1,600.
1,600. Yeah. Yeah, this would work well for me. This size office.
So just over 6,000 feet, you got dock and drive-in loading, dock levelers, automatic overhead door. You have 2 skylights above as well, so from a natural light perspective and just, unique different space, you've got that.
Yeah. What is typical? So it's infrared heating in here, or
Forced air. Yeah, so these unit heaters that are tucked into the ceiling there would be your forced air.
and these are all electric, right? So they're all
They're gas, electric.
gas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
So there's propane or natural gas that comes here.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a fire sprinkler system, which is the highest and best you're going to get. They don't put it on the store.
Like size-wise, I mean, this feels appropriate for me.
Yeah, this space is 3,000 square feet larger.
Yeah. But the risk that I have, again, is I'm going to be bringing in full container loads of product, which is very different. In Florida, I'm turning inventory. And there's a lot of middlemen that I'm buying from that hold the inventory in big warehouses. Here, I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the, bringing in, importing the product so fully. And so I don't know how that's going to look and feel. But the beauty of a place like this is I can go all the way up.
Well, and if you need someone to look at this, like if you have your pallet sizes and you need someone to look at like your cubic footage capacity for racking, then got guys that are put in touch with someone that would go and do a layout
Yeah.
and kind of give you a number to say, well, at maximum you could store this much, right?
Maximize your actual usage.
Yeah, because you can go all the way up here from a storage perspective.
Yeah.
Because your stuff wouldn't be like, it's not hazardous, it's not flammable.
Generally not. No, I mean, you're talking detailing supplies, so generally not.
Yeah, so it should be fine.
Soaps, and then a lot of pressure washing stuff.
Okay.
Just a lot of pressure washing equipment, and then flooring, lighting, so like Cree lighting fixtures and stuff like that. So anything to do with the garage. And so what my guess is, like, this is probably what I need, something like this size. But if this works like I think it's going to work, the issue is then I'm going to need a lot more in short order. But I think for several years, this is probably appropriate. 9,000, 10,000 square feet, something like that.
Okay.
And this is nice because I don't need a ton of office space. Like, it's going to be warehouse people in here.
It's pretty minimal office.
Yeah.
For you.
I'd probably have that office filled with stuff,
There's nothing. Especially like if you want to buy something, this is the only option that's ready in the next 30 days.
Okay.
Snow melt or whatever is there.
So there's your dock height stuff, so I guess that'd be incoming, outgoing, shipping, receiving, and then this is just.
And then, the guys next door, they got a sea can there. Like you said, you bring in sea cans or the stuff, and you had to drop it overnight or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All you can stay here. You have like this is your kind of exclusive area for garbage recycling, but the neighbors are doing it, so there's already precedent there. Bylaws typically dictate no outdoor storage.
Yeah.
But once they're in, they're relatively
If everybody's cool with it, awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a like a condo or HOA sort of thing, like a. So that's the.
Will essentially dictate and run the organization. It's professionally managed, so.
Got it.
No.
That's cool. Okay, so yeah, separate entrance where we could do. Yeah, so this is built concrete. This is like my garage in my house. It's built on a second story, where there's steel pan decking, and then they pour the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still. They're like 12-foot ceilings.
It's still like again they did the HVAC, so all you have to do is drop your T-bar ceiling.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to build individual offices, you just adjust your ductwork accordingly.
God dang it.
You can always just leave it over like downstairs too.
I like this a lot.
And we have probably about 200 grand worth of improvements between downstairs and upstairs, and we're priced cheaper than the price.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's a bit of a no-brainer that buy something.
So we are on the southeast side of town, which would put me closer to Heartland, right? A little bit.
Closer to Florida, too.
Yeah, a little closer to Heartland, a little further away from the airport, but still only 20 minutes from the airport.
Building 2's already missed. Yeah.
So, but this is brand new construction. What size are these? From 7 to 12?
From 7 to 12, yeah.
And so he thinks I'm gonna like these the most.
Like you gotta see the last one.
Yeah, so that's 30.
Yeah, 26 is kind of, remember, 26 really isn't a viable option. It's only 26, so they can put the mez in.
Yes.
So you either 24, the 28,
Yes.
the 32, the 36 for you guys use rack down here, exactly.
Yeah, so this would be about 12,000 feet if they put a wall up right here, and then 30.
These bays here are they're 195
195 deep.
deep, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're smaller. So these are 9. So the 12s are down there because this building kind of steps out.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So there you see that's the 235.
They get longer.
So this here would be
9,000 feet.
Wow, it still looks massive.
It's
With
the
these-
ceiling, right?
yeah.
It's the same
Yeah.
footprint.
And say that again about the ceiling height. This is 30.
It's the same footprint as the last one we looked
Yeah.
at, but it feels much larger because you got an extra 6 feet
Yeah.
in height.
And you can go all the way up.
Yeah, you can go, in this case, you would be 32, you would be 5 or 6 racks.
Yeah.
5.
And obviously,
5 racks.
with a racking engineer. And
Yeah.
So you have to get, if you're gonna rack above 12 feet, you need a permit, you gotta go to the city.
Yeah.
And we got lots of guys that can help do that.
So that's only 9,000 square feet all the way to the other side of the building.
Like he has 3 buildings on his site.
At the base of the, where that door would be there, it started to rust. It was unbelievable.
So these bays, you can kind of set it up. So based on the purlins or the beams coming off the I-beams off the ceiling, you could kind of set it up however you want. This right now is like temporary storage for Home Depot. Yeah, so they have trailer storage. So if I had loads coming in and needed to store overnight or something like that, you'd have the room between the two buildings. All right, clearly I'm back to Florida after a really awesome trip to Alberta. Like I said, this is my first, even though we kind of sprinkled in a little business into the trip. I don't really think of Obsessed Garage as a business. To me, it's just my life in business form, if you will. So I've been so fortunate I'm able to kind of do what I love and do it all day, every day, and no matter where I'm at, and incorporate my family and my friends and my everybody in it, all of you in it. So such a great trip, and I've been able to decompress a little bit and think about what Andrew showed us And he did perfectly. It was exactly what I was hoping to do. So we looked at 2 properties by the airport, one for purchase. Well, actually, the first one was one for lease, one for purchase, and then we went down to the southern side of town to kind of get the other major industrial area of the town, and to see a sort of a modular place, a place that I could, choose 50,000 square feet to set 9,000 square feet and pretty much everything in between or more, and kind of see what that looks like. And man, there's stuff like this in Orlando, but an hour from here makes me realize what I'd love to build here in Lady Lake, and it gives me a real sense of what 9,000 square feet could look like. Could really buy me a lot of time if we built a building on my lot that's 9,000 square feet with 32-foot ceilings. If I could pull something like that off in Lady Lake, that would be really awesome. It would buy me, several 4, 5, 6, 7 years, which is part of our strategic plan. But it was interesting. I'd love to buy a place, but I think we're more likely than not. That was Albert, who was with us, who was our residential. He knows our story really well. And then Andrew, same thing. Myself, Michelle, we kind of all think that the smart thing to do would be to lease. And I know it doesn't make sense. I'll explain in the next video tomorrow about why Calgary is speaking to me, why it just feels right, why it makes sense to me, even though a good percentage of you of the population is in the eastern side, the eastern provinces in Ontario and Quebec. I just feel it. I can feel it in my gut that the Calgary is my place. So I'm certain that trip, or like say 90% certain that trip confirmed what I was feeling, and I think that we're going to end up pulling the trigger. And so the plan, obviously, I loved all 3 of these places. Any one of them would have worked. So the plan for me over the next 6 or 8 months is to work on the legal side. So I'm going to work on the legal aspect. Work on the tax aspect, getting bank accounts set up, and then figuring out the structure, also writing sort of employment descriptions of who I think I'm going to need and what that will look like, who would be volunteering or be involved on the OG side of things. And then likely I'll go up there after the first of the year. Hopefully we've saved some money and stayed in good shape with our the U.S. taxes and all of that. And so I'm hoping to amass say $500,000, $600,000, $800,000 that I can set aside to begin to make the investment. I'm going to have to sign a lease that's going to cost me $10,000 to $15,000 a month US. I'm probably going to have another $10,000 or $15,000 a month US in payroll costs. And so I'm going to have to be rather efficient in that I can't have months and months and months of no production in Canada, because I'm going to have this significant investment. What I'm hopefully planning to do would be to turn on some, say we're going to turn on sales March 1st. I have to start writing checks January 1st. Maybe if I'm lucky, I can start pre-order on certain items that we know are going to be available to ship, say March 1st. And then start to train, hire, train, take orders from you Canadians who want to buy stuff, which would help me sort of fund the initial expenses of purchasing inventory and stuff like that, so that way we can maybe do this somewhat seamlessly. So I'll be sure to share that more with you as we figure it out. But thanks for coming along with me on our trip, and the next video will be my explanation. Be a little bit weird in our visit to the set where they have the set for my favorite show, Heartland, which is the large driver for why I'm in this town and why it feels right to me. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.